Hey, lovely people, welcome to Internet Storytime with C. I am so glad you're here. On this channel, we dive into the juiciest internet story times, sharing relatable tales, wild experiences, and everything in between. So, grab a cuppa, get comfy, and let's get the story time started.
That's how they tried to do touch and follow for me, but my head is too strong for them. It didn't work. This life is very spiritual. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You know when you're going through your day and then you just have a random memory of something that happened to you, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring this to TikTok. This happened about 3 years ago. I just met this guy. His real estate company is banging now, but then it was just like up and coming. He was just starting his real estate business and all of this, and I was just starting my business. I was only like 2 years into my business, and we had a mutual friend, and we ended up meeting. I think he added me on Instagram. My IG is private, by the way, so he ended up reaching out to me because we had a mutual friend, and we were hitting it off until we weren't. Something about him just made me very uneasy, and women, our intuition, I had this intuition, something just wasn't right with this guy. There was just very much something about him that just felt very so I started to slowly pull away from him. I think we had a falling out about something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know he pissed me off, and I was like, yeah, I'm not talking to you anymore. So I just ejected myself from the situation. So now one day I'm getting ready for work and I'm just doing my normal worship. I usually just worship in the morning and just pray in the spirit. I'm just flowing in the spirit, getting myself charged up spiritually for the day. So I'm doing all of this and I just keep hearing there's this Adebo Hustler song called Symbiosis. Chemical reaction. Hey. So there's a part of that song that goes touch and follow, and in the middle of my worship I keep hearing that part that says touch and follow, touch and follow, and I'm like, why am I hearing this? So I keep rebuking. I'm like, Satan, that's where you need to be, behind me. I'm driving to my office now, and as soon as I enter the gate of my office, the Holy Spirit says pray in the spirit. So I start praying in the spirit. I'm praying in the spirit, and the way my office is set up, you have to drive around the building in order to be able to find parking space. So I drive around, and I'm walking up. Even as I walk up the stairs to my office, I'm praying in the spirit. About an hour into work, I just get this chill, this cold sensation, and then this guy literally just walks in. He doesn't knock, nothing. He just opens my door. Mind you, in the 2-week period that me and him were talking, he used to come to my office a lot. So I guess the receptionist had a level of comfort with him. So she just allowed him walk in. Anyway, that has been fixed in my office. We don't do that anymore. So anyway, the guy just walks in, and he was like, hey, he had this weird grin, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, can I help you? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm just wondering why you're not answering my calls, you're not talking to me, I brought you lunch. And I was like, yeah, I just don't think that, this, because me, I don't like having guy friends. I don't want to be a friend. If it's not going anywhere, I'm not really trying to be a friend. So I was like, I don't just think this is going to go anywhere. I just feel let's not waste each other's time. He was not like, yeah, but I just don't want us to be enemies. We can be cool. And I was like, okay, we're cool. I don't have any hard feelings towards you. I'm just I really just don't think this is going to go anywhere. So he was not like, okay, if you say we're cool, can I get a hug? And I just thought that was weird. He was like, can I hug you? And I was like, no, we don't. No, thanks. I'm good. You don't need to hug me. I was not like, no, but if you're saying we're cool, if you should be able to give me a hug. I was like, no, I'm so sorry. I really don't need to give you a hug to prove anything. I'm telling you that we're cool, so we're cool. At this point, I just wanted him to leave my office. So I was just like, okay, we are cool. There's no problem. But then the way the guy now started insisting, the insistence, it was like, oh, no, you have to hug me. You have to hug me. And in that moment, I just remembered what happened during my devotion. And I just heard touch and follow the exact same way I was hearing it during my worship time in the morning. And then I now said to him as a joke, I said, this one that you are insisting to hug me, is it that you want to do touch and follow for me? Then the guy just looked at me like this, and he was like, maybe I need to call my baba because it's this thing is not going to work. Oh. So I just laughed it off, and I was like, guy, it's cool, we're good, I promise you. He's like, can I at least get a handshake? I was like, no, you're good, but now you need to leave. I'm in the middle of work. So the guy literally hesitates, and he does he's trying to touch me, and I move my chair because I'm on my chair. I don't get up throughout all this time, and I just push my chair back, and I'm like, guy, leave. And so he ended up leaving. He walked out, and I carried on with my day. So I was done with work for the day and I'm walking out. I said to the receptionist, I'm like, please don't let that guy come into my office again. Like, as from now, regardless of how many times people walk in, or how many times you've, or how familiar you are with someone, always make sure you call me before you let them in. And she was like, noted. And then she asked me, was like, is there a problem? Did anything happen? And I was like, no, but I just don't feel comfortable, especially with that guy. And she was like, yeah, she was wondering why the guy just kind of like stood, like after he left my office, he stood there and he was on the phone for a while. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, yeah. And then he was walking around the office. And I was like, okay, it was my own. He should be going. You guys, that night, I'm literally sleeping. I'm sleeping right next to my auntie. It's like, at this point, it's like midnight. It's like 3 a.m. I'm sleeping. And then my spirit wakes up. My consciousness is awake, rather. My body is asleep. And when that usually happens, I just worship. So I'm worshiping. And as I'm worshiping, I look to my right. My body is asleep, by the way. And I see my auntie and she wakes up because she's also very spiritually sensitive. She wakes up and I could literally hear her as she was thinking. And she's like, why am I up at this time? It's 3:33 and she looks at her thingy at her phone and she's like, why am I awake? And so, she sits up on the bed. And then as I'm worshiping, I just see this dark entity. When I say it was like a I don't even know how to explain. It's like a cloud, but it was like a moving cloud of smoke, like a black smoke cloud. And it just like came in through the window and was hovering above me. And me, I know who I am spiritually. So like all these things don't scare me. I've seen things. So I was just like, oh, okay. I said, you can't do anything because I know who I am. Like, affiliated with the King of Kings. I'm affiliated with the Lord of Lords. As I'm still singing, I'm worshiping, and I'm just looking at it, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm like, you can't do anything. You can't do anything to me. That's how this dark cloud just enters through my chest, like just enters me. And I said, in the name of before I even finished saying Jesus, the thing shut out. But I noticed that once it entered me, like my spiritual voice changed to this dark, gory voice. Like it was really weird, like this dark, echoey, gory voice. And then by the time I said in the name of shut out. And I immediately woke up. And my auntie is like, are you okay? I was like, auntie, I told her everything that happened. That's how we just started praying. We just started praying. We started praying. So what the guy didn't work. The touch and follow didn't work. So he probably went to his Baba and asked his Baba to come and put a love spell. So the way all this love spell works is that they basically collaborate with demons to possess you in order to like block your sense of will and inhibition. This is to say spiritual sensitivity is everything. Imagine if I just went through the 2 days that this whole situation happened without any sensitivity to the Holy Spirit, without any promptings from the Holy Spirit. I'll probably be somebody's mumu right now, So it's very important, guys, to just be spiritually sensitive. Make sure you test the spirit. Even when you're engaging people, test what spirit is operating behind them, because everybody has a spirit that governs their life, whether you're conscious of it or not, whether you're sensitive or not. There's behind every principle, there's a principality, and this is a spiritual fact. So be safe out there, girls, especially dating in Lagos. God, I have so many stories. I feel like I should even do a series, but I don't want you people to see me finish. We're not cool like that on TikTok, not yet.
And that's all, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button for more juicy stories.